Check the latest now on the breaking story involving a blast at a furniture store in the city of Wayne.
At least one person was hurt in the explosion in Wayne. They've been transported to the hospital in Ann Arbor. We have live Team 7 coverage of the chaos at Glenwood and Wayne streets. Let's go live to the scene in Wayne right now.
Action News reporter Bill Proctor has an update. Bill.
Well, Paul Franks is the longtime owner of the store, highly respected businessman here. He is the person now listed in critical condition at the University of Michigan hospitals in Ann Arbor, apparently severely burned. And yes, it was his store that exploded this morning. There is also concern that along with Mr. Franks, who was on the inside, there may have been a couple of other people who were not customers inside the building at the time of the blast. Apparently, Consumers Power confirming at this point that it was, in fact, a natural gas explosion. There was a lot of concern here for quite some time about other businesses that may have had an accumulation of natural gas on the inside of their stores. Lots of businesses, the pane glass shattered here on Wayne Road, right around Glenwood, both north and south, and apparently some glass inside some homes to the east and west of this strip of downtown. Most certainly some people were very close at the time, not necessarily so close to be harmed, but apparently there was a young woman, Tiffany, who was in a car at the traffic light just north of the blast scene, and another woman, Lisa, who was about a mile away at the time of the blast around 9 o'clock this morning.
The car that was in front of the building lifted several feet up from the ground and sped out in front of Glenwood. I noticed that the windows from the impact to that car, the windows were gone out of the car.
Was the car just parked or was someone in it?
Someone was in the car.
What did the impact feel like in your car as you were behind the wheel?
It felt like an earthquake, and for me to never experience that, but it rumbled and pushed me actually back in my vehicle.
It was like a boom, really loud. It sounded like a bomb. Shook my whole house. I was looking at windows to see if they were cracking, and the power went off. Come back on about 2-3 minutes later, and we didn't know what happened. Everybody ran outside, and we were, whoa, looking up in the sky for smoke or anything. We couldn't see anything.
An impressive public safety response from a number of neighboring communities, at least a half dozen of them. Now apparently there is in fact a professional search team coming to go through the building where the blast took place. A lot of concern still, though, about the sagging roof. Apparently a number of the supports gave way. The roof is actually down on the ground, apparently kind of bowed in the middle at the furniture store. And so they can't necessarily go in at this point, but they may even be bringing search dogs to kind of go inside that building and see if they can locate the other two victims, if there are victims on the inside. At this point, they thought there may have been, and there's no confirmation of that yet. No fatalities, we are told, but there is concern about the real possibility of two victims on the inside. Reporting live in Wayne, Bill Proctor, Channel 7 Action News.
Thank you very much, Bill. Our Team 7 coverage continues now with a look at that damage as he was talking about it. Action News reporter Kimberly Craig is live in Wayne with more on that. Kim?
Well, we can tell you that we did talk to two people who actually work at Frank's Furniture, and they're also hearing that two people are still missing, two people that they work with. This happened around 9 o'clock this morning. Take a look behind me here at the effort that's still going on. While you can't see many firefighters in front, is because much of the effort to find the two people who they believe are still two people that may be trapped is happening mostly in the rear of the building and along the side there. So firefighters are working on, if you will, mostly down Glenwood here as opposed to right on Wayne here. But there is a lot of activity behind the building here. Now, the explosion happened around 9 o'clock this morning here on Wayne near Glenwood, where Frank's Furniture has been for many, many years. We're told the owner, Paul Franks, was actually pulled from the rubble earlier. We're told from some of his friends that he has broken bones and severe burns. And others who also work here are standing nearby here, hoping and praying that their two co-workers will be found alive. We talked to Deanna Dow.
9:30, 10 o'clock, a friend of mine called me to ask if I had seen the news, and I hadn't seen the news yet, and said that Frank's Furniture exploded. And then I ran around turning on all the TVs and found out that's what happened.
What's going through your heart right now in your mind?
I don't know. I don't know what those feelings are right now. I think it's pure shock, devastation, loss. I don't know. My prayers are with the family and the loved ones that are there and their families, and And it is like it's a family-owned business, so you've got to know them and their families.
And you're taking a live look right now from Chopper 7 high above the area here of Glenwood and Wayne where Frank's Furniture is located. The search is continuing for what's believed to be 2 people that are unaccounted for right now. We are told one of them is a secretary that works there and one of them is a salesperson there in the building as well. If you come back live here to our ground level shot here, you see a vehicle over there in the distance. That vehicle was actually driving by the store right there when this happened and just blew out all of the windows there. That person, we understand, has been taken to the hospital. Another vehicle that was damaged nearby, we understand from the husband of the wife that was driving that vehicle that she is home right now, not suffering any injuries, but she is just shaken up, as you can imagine. Dora, if we can go back to chopper shots real quick here. I'm going to talk to Dora because, Dora, you live not far away from here, and tell us what you heard and what you felt when this happened.
Well, when I was at 9 o'clock this morning, I was waiting for my driver for physical therapy, and all of a sudden I heard a big blast. My screen door flew open. The car alarms went off. I was scared. I thought I was shot. I'm still devastated from the blast.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Frank's Furniture? Are you driven
Yes.
by here?
Oh, yes, several times. Definitely.
What's it like when you see the devastation there now and then just the hope and the prayers of the people?
It's terrible. It's terrible. I feel for the people that are trapped in there. I hope they get out.
And that's everybody's hope right now. Thank you, Dora. And that's certainly everybody's hope right now. Again, 2 people unaccounted for, believed to be a secretary here at Frank's Furniture and a salesperson. That's what we're being told by their co-workers right now. 2 people who were also supposed to be in the building at the time, but for some reason they were not there right now. One, Deanna, who you heard from, she was told not to even bother coming in until noon today. And that may have certainly saved her from a lot of heartache and what's actually happening right now to 2 families right now. Again, the 2 people who are unaccounted for right now, that the search still continues. We are told by the deputy chief who's out here as one of the heads of the search and rescue mission. He is telling us that they are searching by hand right now, but as Bill Proctor said, they're believed to be bringing in canines to actually continue that search. But everybody's holding out hope. We've seen it happen before on some miraculous stories that they will be found alive. Reporting live in Wayne, Kimberly Craig, Channel 7 Action News. Back to you.
Okay, Kim, thank you very much. Let's turn now to Action News reporter Smitha Kaloki. She joins us live from the City Council offices in Wayne, where a press conference has just wrapped up. Smitha?
Well, Bill, we had the mayor, the city manager, and also the police chief out here telling us exactly what happened. Now, as we understand it, Consumers Energy did receive a call earlier this morning before that explosion happened, saying that there was a strong sense of gas in the area. Now, those Consumers Energy crews were a couple blocks away when this explosion actually happened, right around 9 o'clock this morning. Now, since then, you can see in chopper video that there is a lot of emergency crews out here. We are told that more than 50 firefighters have been on scene. And as you heard Bill and Kim mention, that they are trying to pull out 2 employees at this time. And right now, their families have not been contacted, so their identities are being withheld at this time. Search and rescue teams are working the east side of the building, which is where they are believed to be at this time. Now, as for conditions, we are told that Paul Frank, who is the owner of Frank's Furniture, is in critical condition. Now, Frank was very well known in this community. He was a member of the DDA, certainly involved a lot in Wayne itself. Now, as you also heard Bill and Kim mention, that there were motorists that were driving by that got caught up in the explosion as it happened. 2 motorists also at this time, their conditions are unknown according to the city manager. We are still waiting to hear more from him. However, here's what he had to say about what he heard and saw when this explosion actually happened.
I was told just before we began that there was a call earlier this morning prior to the explosion about someone smelling gas, and that Consumers was called and were on the site looking for the problem, and then the explosion occurred shortly after 9 o'clock. So that's as much as I know.
And South Wayne Road is currently blocked off in that area. It is causing problems for motorists, so you will need to find a way around it. Also, Consumers Energy has turned off the gas for this area for the time being. And guys, that will certainly create some problems for people who, as the winter is quite cold out there right now. So there will be having warming centers in the area. You can get more information on our website as it becomes available. And we do expect to understand more from what exactly has happened here. Press conferences are expected to be scheduled for later later on this afternoon. We'll bring you updates both on air and online. For now, I'm Lynn Wade and Smitha Kaloki, Channel 7 Action News.
Smitha, I know you've received a lot of information in a short amount of time. We appreciate you delivering it so quickly. When the mayor, I believe it was the mayor who approached the podium, he seemed to get choked up there for a minute.
Absolutely. You know, he talked about how so many people have come out and said that they're hoping and praying for these people that are, you know, still believed to be trapped out there. This is a small community, and it certainly hits home, especially because this city hall is just a couple blocks away from where Frank's Furniture is.
Smith, have you heard anything about the plan to get these people out? If there are 2 people under all of that rubble, if they talked at all about their plans to get those people out of there?
They haven't identified the specifics of exactly how they're going to be working to get those people out. We do know that the Wayne County Search and Rescue Team is on scene right now at this very moment. So they, again, are working from the east side of the building. They might also be bringing in another team from the west side. But right now, they're just hoping that they can get to them as quickly as possible, guys. And as far as their condition of those 2 victims, we don't know exactly. I asked if they were unconscious or responsive. At this time, they don't know.
But Paul Franks, the owner, is in critical condition at the burn unit, last you heard.
That is correct, that he's in critical condition. And you heard the mayor and the city manager get choked up because he's well known in this community. People, you know, he did a lot around here, and he was certainly involved here at City Hall as well. So a lot of people out here are hoping that he pulls through at this time.
One more thing, Smitha, we've heard that Mr. Franks is in critical condition several times, but did they talk about the specific injuries that he sustained?
Not at this time. You know, information is still slowly trickling at this point, so as we learn more, we'll bring it to you.
And one last thing, did they talk about where he was exactly when this happened? Mr. Franks we're talking about.
Mr. Frank was inside of the store. Again, they're still trying to piece all of this together, Bill, so as we get more information, we'll bring it to you, but for right now, they're still investigating this.
All right, Smitha Kaloki live at City Council chambers in the city of Wayne. Thank you for your live reporting, Smitha. Please stay with Action News and WXYZ.com for continuing coverage of the furniture store explosion in Wayne.